Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Eureka Springs channel. I'm Melody Purdy, your host. We're coming to you live from Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And I'm here today, the one thing that the channel is really all about. I tell this to people all the time. We're really only about a certain thing here at the Eureka Springs channel, and that's about celebrating good people, good places, and good news. And I'm just, excited that, again, I get to talk with some friends. Actually, it's kind of a good way to catch up with your friends, just to ask them to be on a show, right? But I have an artist who has been in our community for quite some time, and she has just been busy, but she has a brand new project that she just completed, and I've asked her to come on today to talk about what she's going to be installing. It's a whole story. You've got to hear this, guys. So please welcome to the screen Miss Suzanne Reed.
Hi, Melody. Thanks for having me. This is
great. You're welcome. Thank you for doing it. I'm excited to talk to everybody about what you've been doing. It's an extensive project that you were commissioned to do. So we're going to dive into. First of all, I want to know, where did you come up with this huge magnitude of project? I mean, where did it come from?
Well, I was down in the lower level of the auditorium and I saw this wall and I said, wouldn't it be fabulous to do something up there? And Sandy Martin asked me, well, what would you do? And so I quickly drew a little sketch. And from there, we turned out to do a big project. And so my quick sketch went into something much more detailed like this. And that's kind of how it all came to be.
Wow. Well, now the auditorium is a huge space.
It is. It's huge. And one of the things that we had to do before getting started, we had to go down there and check out the space and make sure that everything was as it should be. And this obviously was something that was going on a wall. So, here we are checking for studs and making sure that what I had designed is actually going to be doable in the space.
Right. So then you start out with materials, and then from there, where did this go?
Well, I start out with just a set of long pieces of metal, and I then start cutting and putting them together, fabricating the sculpture itself. So there's plenty of cutting and welding and all of that goes into creating a sculpture like this. But this is what I start with, just a pile of metal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
So this is long pieces of steel.
Right.
Excuse me.
All right, I'm going to go some pictures.
Okay. Well, so this sculpture actually is made up of 18 different pieces. And so we had to cut all of these, all of this metal down. And one of the things that I discovered early on, typically I do a sculpture by myself, but with this particular metal, it was quite heavy. And so I had to pull in some help. And so Hugh Deaver came in to help me, and he was kind of the brawn throughout the whole process. But we had all of this metal to cut and to weld and to grind and put it all together and to somehow keep track of all of that stuff. And so we had lots and lots of lists going on. And I'm happy to say that we really only had to redo one piece the whole time. So that was pretty good. I was happy about that.
I was looking at the next photograph that you've got here. This is you right in the middle of doing all the cutting. How fun is this?
Actually,
you get to play with the big toys.
Well, actually, that's the welding part.
Okay.
So this is at a point where you're putting everything together and all the cutting's been done, and you have to clean it all up. It's not just let's go cut this and it's ready to go. You really do have to clean everything up, make sure it's all level and put together the way it should be. And as you can see in this particular photo, you can tell that, my work is very architectural, and oftentimes people see a piece like this and go, oh, well, that's all a bunch of straight lines. That's pretty easy. Well, that is actually not the case. It's very difficult to make sure that everything is straight and lined up. And so one of the things that I did here was, this is at my studio, and I had to just sort of see where we were in the process to make sure that everything was going to be the way I had envisioned it. So I laid it out there, and this is pretty representative of what I did. And then the white pieces are where glass was going to go. And so, I did not make a ton of adjustments to this. It pretty much came out the way that I thought it would.
Well, you're really working inside and outside the studio on this project, weren't you?
Absolutely, inside and outside. And there was so much to it. It took up a lot of space and really all of my time. I did nothing else but this.
I can tell that. So tell us about what we're looking at here.
So if you can see the little pieces sticking up on those, that was one of the most critical parts to this entire sculpture. And those are the brackets that had to go onto both the metal itself and then onto the wall. And if you recall the photo up front when we were measuring all the studs, that's what we were doing. So these metal brackets had to be welded exactly where they were going to go on the walls. And if we messed up, we were in trouble. So we spent a lot of time doing that and a lot of conversations, and had a guy down in Middleton actually fabricate those for me.
So a great amount of attention to detail.
It was one of the more architectural engineering heavy projects that I've done in this sector, for sure.
And here we are loading it up.
Yes, we finally got everything put together and ready to go. And so we loaded it up and had to take it over to the powder coater. So that's what I do with all of my sculptures, really, the outdoor ones, is take them over to Wayne's Powder Coating in Springdale. And so we loaded all this up and had to make sure it didn't bounce off this trailer and, all the things that you have to deal with. And they were great, and just, they, of course, have a forklift, which is a whole lot easier.
Oh, yeah. So
they did that. And then once I get it back, it's, it's kind of the pretty part. And the powder coating makes it really strong and durable. So that's what that was all about. And then here, this is the metal part, is off at the powder coater. It takes a couple weeks. And so the other thing that I, of course, put in all my sculptures is glass. And so one of the things that I really had to deal with in this particular setting was that burgundy wall. It's quite a dark color and sort of soaks up all the light. So, I was limited with the colors that I could use, but I found some colors that were bright enough and strong enough to actually work well on the wall. And one of the other issues that I was dealing with on the glass is the simple scale of it. So I had to special order glass that would be, I could make it 2 foot long by 18 inches. And then I was cutting and fusing and doing all that. And, each piece took up the whole kiln, so I had to do one at a time. So the glass was quite a challenge as well.
Wow. I can just imagine having anything glass shipped in general. How many pieces came broken?
Only one.
Good.
And I was really glad because I did not have glass. I had to special order the size because, and I was glad that I didn't break any.
You got lucky there.
I did.
That would have been my worst nightmare. So then working all putting them all in the kiln, getting it all in the process, and then at some point in time you're ready to go and install.
That's right. So, yes, I know, it was crazy. This was something, it was amazing. We knew we have 15-foot scaffolding there, and that doesn't sound really tall, but oh my gosh, when you're up there, it's amazing. And I knew that we were going to have some more help installing because I needed to be, well, frankly, on the ground and, doing some direction. And so we had Bruce Capps join us as well. And the guys just crawled up and down this scaffolding over and over and over again. It was amazing. And, trying to figure out how to place everything, get it in the right spot, do it in a safe way. This was a huge challenge.
And look at you, my goodness. You laid it out on the floor.
Laid it out on the floor so that we could see. And you can see my dad over there in the bottom left. I mean, this really is all hands on deck. He had a laser level. And so we ran a line across the top that we could measure from.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how we got started with everything. But again, it was like making sure that it was exactly on the stud.
Exactly on the stud.
That's her first piece. So yay!
That was like, you must have been a sigh of relief when you got the first one up.
It was. It took the longest to do, but once we sort of figured everything out, then you go, okay, now we can go from there.
Now it makes sense.
So it was exciting to get that first piece in.
Oh my goodness.
Right, and you can just see the detail there.
Did you have a fear of heights? You didn't get up there though, did you?
I did not get up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I
really depended on the guys
not
to
on
help
the scaffolding. No, and they were like, no, you don't come up here.
Yeah. Boy, you're right. If you had gotten one of those brackets in the wrong place, you really messed the whole thing up.
And kind of talking about those brackets, really, it was amazing. We were installing up at the top to begin with, and so we kind of got that portion done. And then as you sort of came down the wall, we started trying to figure it out, and weird things were going on. And we discovered that the studs were not in line.
Oh.
And so all that pre-planning, so you had like the stud wall going up, and then they had built a second wall above it. And when they did it, they didn't have them lined up. And so we had run a line down, and it was a curved line, and we were like, what in the world?
Oh my goodness.
So we had to deal with all of that. It was
nothing in Eureka is straight.
No,
so
nothing is straight. Nothing is straight. Well, here's some of the installation with the glass, and that was another sort of challenge. Was, do you install the glass before you put it up, or do you put the glass in after you put it up?
First.
We did a little bit of both. This got a little scary. They're lifting it up, and you're like, if that hits anything, it is shattered.
Yep.
So, we did a little bit of both, but we got it there. So this is Hugh. We said he was spelunking for studs. So that wall stud issue, he actually went behind the walls, climbed up in, I don't know, like an air conditioning duct system or something. And he went and found the studs, and then he sistered in more boards so that we could actually line them up. Because otherwise, we didn't have anything to screw into.
Was he prepared for this job? He's got a spelunking hat on, looks like.
It does look like that. Actually, Bruce brought that, so I don't know what Bruce is up to most days, but but this came in real handy here for sure. So the auditorium has got some interesting things behind it.
As it should. There's nothing in Eureka that doesn't have some type of quirkiness to it.
That's exactly right.
All right, so the big reveal, I want everybody to see this from this is amazing, Suzanne, what you've done. Take a look. Wow.
Yeah.
There she is.
That was a sigh of relief for sure.
It had to be. It's amazing structures.
It really is kind of amazing in that whole facility. It's 25 foot wide by 12 foot high. You can see the scale of it, in that space down there. It really is quite an anchor for the space, and I think helps add some interest to that wall for sure.
Absolutely. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you must have such a sense of relief, a sense of accomplishment and pride in what you've done, what you've created.
Well, I am.
It's a lot.
It is one of these projects that you don't get an opportunity to do very often, and
you don't.
Yeah, and I think public art is so important for the community, and I really appreciate the Arts Council, believing in me and giving me the opportunity to do this, and I just love it, and I think the community will benefit from this for years to come.
So let's go back to the beginning because I loved what you titled this piece.
Yeah.
For those of you may be listening, you can't read this online. It says, the sculpture Find Your Path invites you to journey at your own pace. It beckons you with a riot of color and vibrant surprises along the way. As you traverse this winding trail, you join a larger community of explorers. Come, enter the path, and be a part of this shared adventure. How poignant is that? Boy, I'll tell you, you hit the nail on the head.
I love that. And I do believe that, we all have our own journey and our own path to follow. And we don't have to do it alone, but we also don't have to do it in a pack. And I think the sculpture sort of represents, different areas of entry into your path. And then you go through at your pace. And, these little pops of color are kind of the exciting things that happen in your life and the people that you come in contact with. And I think that's what makes up our community. So, that was kind of the whole impetus behind all of it.
But
But sounds like a very natural inspiration for you because you live this life every day here in Eureka Springs. And everything that you said is sort of like we all have this shared experience. But yet, we are all on different paths.
We are. And,
pretty cool.
I think over the last few years, we have experienced some craziness in our lives, and we're all trying to get back together, and people are doing it at different paces and in different ways. So I really hope that this helps bring the community together a little bit more.
Well,
it's certainly an inspiration to do so. And I know that you're going to have a grand opening or a grand ribbon cutting. How do y'all determine this?
I don't even know I don't know what we're terming it. I got an unveiling, I suppose.
Unveiling.
There will be another sculpture as well, and then some live music, and it'll be Friday, May 12th from 6 to 8 p.m. and down obviously in the lower level of the auditorium here in Eureka Springs. And I hope everybody can come out, and I know a lot of people have followed me along this path, so here's your opportunity to come and see it for yourself. So please come and join us.
I think some people were watching earlier talking about the crooked walls or the there in the auditorium.
Yeah.
Kaladakite is watching. It says, "Not surprising you should see the walls in my shop."
Yeah, it was amazing. Going
Kaladakite is also making a comment to you, Suzanne. Says, "I love your installation at the park."
Thank you. Yes, that was one a couple years ago. I loved it, and I do still get a lot of people come up and say, "Oh, is that your work? It's great," and they love. It's public art. It's what people want. They want.
It's what they want.
Some beauty and interest. So.
Well, congratulations, Suzanne, for doing this and being selected. And of course, if you are watching this segment and you've got a vision, you want to commission Suzanne to bring your dreams to life, you can contact her at her website, what I'm showing right there online for y'all to see. Call up Suzanne and dream together with her and make something come true for you guys. The work is a labor of love. It's hard work. Working with those hard surfaces and welding, it's not for the faint of heart. You do it well, though.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun.
It is. But I can't wait to see you continue to create in our community. And I think you're probably working right now. You have a big release every year for Christmas.
Yes. I am actually working on Christmas stuff right now.
I know.
I designed my Christmas ornament yesterday.
Okay. So when are you going to release the design for that?
In July. In July. I'll have it. Okay. I'll have some prototypes done, and so I can put it out, for people to see then.
All right. I'll look forward to that. I always look forward to that every year to see what you're going to create for this year for Christmas.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Suzanne, congratulations. And I'm going to say thank God for us that you live here and you're creating such great things for us to enjoy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And really, I appreciate you having me on here. And I appreciate the whole team effort that it took to make this piece come together.
You did have a good team.
I did.
You really did.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Okay, thanks. Hope to see everybody on the 12th.
All right. We'll see you next time, Suzanne.
Bye.
So you guys be sure and check out Suzanne's work. You can find it on her website at artnix.com, and be sure and come out to the auditorium here in Eureka Springs take a look at what she's created for that space. It's really something to be seen. It's pretty impressive. Just one more look at that. That's an incredible work. There's some folks, looks like that may be her dad with her and her helper there. A fantastic installment. Can't wait for everybody to see it in person. Thank you for watching us here at the Eureka Springs channel, where we try to celebrate all of the good people, the good places, and the good news of Eureka Springs. And we appreciate you supporting us by watching us every week. And we hope to bring you something new and exciting again soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye, guys.